Good day. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to First Take. Thank you for hanging with us. It is a Mad Dog Wednesday.
Yes.
Top of the morning to you. Jeff Saturday, Super Bowl champ in the house. Stephen A. back in NYC. Hi, guys.
How y'all doing? How's everything?
Hello, Stevie. How are you today, pal?
So good. So good.
Nice
Ready
to see
for
you.
some football?
Yes,
Because it
let's go.
kicks off tomorrow. We got a big NFC's rivalry in primetime Thursday when Dak and the Cowboys travel to New York to face the Giants. Dallas coming off a tough loss to the Ravens. They did come back in the end, but it wasn't enough. Now sitting at 1-2. The G-men have the same record, but coming off a quality win over the Browns, giving them a little life. Here's Micah Parsons.
You know, I feel like as a competitor, like, at some point you got to be prideful enough to say, hey, like, I'm not going to allow this to happen to me. Like, I just feel like some people are just allowing them to keep getting smacked in the face. Like, when are you going to stand up?
All right, according to our friends at ESPN Bet, Dallas is the heavy favorite to win the Thursday night football matchup against their division rival, the Giants. Dallas hasn't lost to New York since the 2021 season, winning their last 6 meetings. All right, Mad Dog, you know this one's personal. Do you give the Giants a shot versus the Dallas Cowboys?
You'd have to, and I take the 5.5. First off, short week, long travel. Secondly, last time Dallas played at the Giants last year, opening week, they won 40-0. That's going to be fresh in the Giants' minds. Giants should be 2-1. They should have beaten Washington in week 2. And maybe Washington's a little better than we thought after we saw them on Monday night. Neighbors is a big-time player. Jones is playing a little better. Burns woke up and played a pretty good game last week, as you know, with the strip sack that he had against Watson. Listen, if my life was on the line and points were involved, I probably would have to take the Cowboys. But if you're going to tell me that there's no way the Giants can win, that's a bunch of nonsense. The Giants could win this game. I don't know if they will, but this is going to be a competitive game. You know Dable's going to show highlights of week 1 last year until the cows come home and on a loop in a locker room. Something you used to do with the Colts. I never worked with you, but it might work with Dable.
That's right. That don't work.
But I do think the Giants will be competitive here against the Cowboys. Got a chance to win the game.
No chance. No chance. If the Cowboy, you just heard what Micah Parsons said. Something about you got to have some pride that you say this isn't going to happen to me anymore. And to your point, they beat them by 40. They should go in with the mindset, I'm going to beat you by 40 again, because that's the reality of what they should do. The matchup makes the fight, right? This fight, the Cowboys have struggled stopping the run. They should be able to stop the Giants. If you circle Neighbors, circle him. Don't let him get off. Don't let him have a big day. Make sure you keep him under wraps. Force Jones to beat you some other way or with the run game. And here's the other thing. We beat up the Cowboys defense, and rightfully so. But some of us got to go to the Cowboys offense. They don't start fast. They have not given their team the lead and a commanding lead. They've been down 14 twice already this season. At some point, Dak and this offense has to take this thing, by the horns and go make some plays early, and then let that defense play with the ears pinned back and go get people. It's got to be balanced football. But the Cowboys, this is a massive game for the Cowboys because, again, they got a tough schedule coming after this. They need to, especially division opponents, they need to beat this team up and show who they are as the Cowboys. I don't think the Giants have any chance.
Well, listen, I'm not going to say they don't have any chance, but it's by default. It's because I think the Dallas Cowboys are an accident waiting to happen. Let's get that out the way. Now, certainly when you look at the New York Giants, it's really about Neighbors. I mean, this brother can play. He's something special, okay? When you think about the Dallas and what their Achilles heels have been, they've given up 464 yards rushing in the last 2 games. Whew. This is what the Dallas Cowboys have done. They've been, these guys have blitzed them, Baltimore especially, with what Derrick Henry was able to do. We know that's problematic for them. In the end, if the Giants, if you don't give them a chance, it's because who's going to run the football?
Exactly.
That you understand, Singletary, he's going to run the football for you, that you're not thinking about that. So that's the problem. But what if the Dallas Cowboys somehow, some way, allow the Giants to run the football? Then everything changes. Everything changes.
That's
because
sure.
from the moment you can show that you can run the football against the Dallas Cowboys, which we've concluded practically anybody could do at this particular moment in time, because that's how it works, that's how bad they've been. Now you get into a situation. What you gonna do now if you're the Dallas Cowboys? Is it possible you feel in the moment? Is it possible?
Right.
Like, listen, Dak Prescott, you ain't lost to them since 2016. Over the last 12 starts, you 12-0 against them, averaging 275 passing yards per game against the New York Giants. You have had a field day. Any kind of sickness you've got, if Dak Prescott of the Cowboys, the Giants have been your medicine.
Amen.
Clear and simple. All right, what if the New York Giants are able to run the football? All of a sudden, they start feeling it a little bit. I'm talking about the Dallas Cowboys. They're getting a little bit nervous.
Yeah,
this is a
tighten
team
up.
everybody know they're supposed to beat. You get tightened up, anything's possible. I don't think the Giants will win this game, but if you're going to win this game, you want to do so. You want to, if you're going to pull it off, you want to show that you can run the football on the Dallas Cowboys. That's how you put them on their heels. Because if you get that Daniel Jones just dropping back to pass, you can look for neighbors all you want to. But Micah Parsons, Dexter Lawrence, and our brothers could come at you. It's a problem.
These Thursday night games, though, are hard for the road teams.
Agreed.
We saw it last week with New England, and that was an easy flight. Dallas plays late Sunday afternoon. They get ambushed for basically 55 of the 60 minutes. They get on a plane today. They got a short work week. Now they got to play the Giants, who feel good about themselves.
They did.
They played well against Cleveland.
They did.
And the Giants got buried last year twice by the Dallas. You're a Giant fan. You should be on my side. I think this game is going to be very, very competitive.
I think they absolutely have
So
a shot.
you're not taking the Cowboys in 5.5.
I take the 5.5 points. I'm taking the home team on a Thursday night with the points.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm taking the points.
All right, let's have a
Little
friendly
bet?
wager. Little wager.
Okay.
Little wager. We got one.
All right. Well, here's the deal. I'll take if the Giants win, you get me the job at North Carolina. Because he's about to go anyway.
Dirty. You know what?
What do you want?
He needs to leave. He needs to leave. I'm done with that. That was an unprovoked shot. I'm done with you.
They gave you a chance a couple years ago. That didn't work out. Let me get an opportunity.
You're dead to me right now.
If the Giants go out there and win and pull off the upset, building off that momentum last week, what are we going to be saying about them on Monday?
About the Giants?
About the Cowboys.
Oh, done. Done. I mean, their season will be done. They have way too many tough opponents, and it's crazy to say that early in the season. They just haven't given you any hope that they can put teams away. And so as the season progresses and people get more and more accustomed to, hey, we're going to run the ball 30 and 40 times against you, there's no, at some point football becomes about physicality. It becomes about in the trenches, tackling and blocking. And if you can't handle any team, especially like the Giants shouldn't match up with you. They should not be able to match up with you. That's just the bottom line. And at quarterback play, they don't match up. Every category for the Cowboys should at some point say, okay, we it's a get right game. Yeah. So if you can't get right in the get right games, this could get ugly in a hurry.
Stephen A., Cowboys lose on Thursday. What are we saying about them on Friday?
That they stink. That's what we're saying about them. If you lose to the New York Giants, considering the level of dominance that you've exercised against them, you're going to say they stink defensively. You're going to get on them because you know it's not going to be some, 3-2, 3-3 or 6-3 game or whatever. You don't anticipate that like the Philadelphia Eagles and the New Orleans Saints almost ended up being last weekend. But it's one of those situations you got to just step up. And if you're the Dallas Cowboys, look, Dak Prescott, $60 million, CeeDee Lamb, you got to be able to put some points on the board. What you have to do if you're the Dallas Cowboys, find yourself in a position where all you need to look at is the defense. It can't be one of those situations where the defense put us in a hole, so we had no answer. When the other team scores, you get the ball back.
That's right.
Somehow, some way, you got an obligation to go out there and to make sure you're as efficient as possible to earn your damn money. And if you don't do that, then that's a collective collapse.
Yep.
But if the Giants, let's say, for example, won 40-33 or 40-37, we're looking at the defense of the Dallas Cowboys and we're saying, damn, you guys are pretty off.
Here's the other part too, Molly, is the coaching. The distraction will not only be about the team. If they lost to the Giants, now you're going to talk about the coaching. Should there be a change? I mean, he's already got everybody lined up for Bill Belichick. So you think about what would happen in the distraction, the chaos that's going to happen in Dallas if they lost a game to the Giants. That would be amazing.
Let me say this. I've been on this tip all off season.
Yeah.
The second Bill Belichick was available, I said the perfect landing spot for him was the Dallas Cowboys. Why? It's a couple of things. Number one, Jerry's loving to talk and loving to be in front of the camera, and Bill Belichick being the antithesis of that. Number two, focus. You talk about Big D, you talk about that star on your helmet, the $1 billion playpen that y'all playing in Jerry's world, and all of these distractions that come with being a Dallas Cowboy. I'm telling you right now, if you have a week of success for the Dallas Cowboys, they act like it's a year in that area. I mean, it's just the way that it is throughout the country with Dallas Cowboy fans. So it tends to be distractions. And you have to have somebody that has the power, the cachet, the credibility, the resume to keep you focused and to keep you in check. Just think about a football player. What football player outside of Tom Brady is going to even question Bill Belichick? Who for you to question anything about this man. He rose up in Dallas. I understand the whole Bill Belichick potential dynamic, but this is a 6-time champion, man, as a head coach, an 8-time champion, period, who knows football backwards and forwards. This man was the perfect person. I'm not saying that Mike McCarthy should have been fired. That's the difference. I'm saying you got to move that man aside for Bill Belichick. It ain't that you can't coach. It ain't that you're awful. It ain't that you don't deserve a job. It's that you're not Bill Belichick.
All right.
That's what I'm talking about.
Giants are 1-13 versus the Cowboys since 2017, and Daniel Jones is 1-12 in primetime. So this will be quite the upset, Mad Dog. But we're going with it.
I took the Giants against the Browns.
Oh, look at you.
Fat Rob.
Look at you.
Fat Rob.
On ESPN.
ESPN Bet should give you a raise.
Absolutely. They really should.
They should.